Welcome back, everyone. Well, tomorrow, much of the world will be glued to their TVs as England crowns its first new monarch in more than 70 years. The coronation will be a spectacle to behold. And today, we are talking with a local royal expert about what to expect tomorrow. So, Dr. Carol Herringer is the chair of the history department at Georgia Southern University. She's also a scholar of British history. We want to welcome you here to WSAV.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to be here.
We're glad to have you. So, Dr. Herringer, we've heard of reports citing mixed reactions for tomorrow's coronation. Why is that?
I think there are several reasons. One is Charles has been around for a long time. We've seen all his private scandals, and so it's hard to get excited about him. When his mother came to the throne, she was a young monarch. He's 74, so it's hard to get excited about that. There's also declining support for the monarchy. Half of people 50 and under don't support the monarchy, and the number is even larger for the people in the age range from 18 to 24. And finally, it's a time of austerity and inflation, and this coronation is predicted to cost about $125 million.
Is it true that they've actually shortened the route for the coronation?
Yes, it's much shorter. It's about a mile each way as opposed to the sort of 5-mile route that his mother took. And one of the things I've heard is that they think that will make the crowds look bigger. They're afraid that there won't be enough crowds for a much longer processional route.
Well, people talk about it all the time. We're watching from afar, looking across the pond, and we hear all of these stories about Charles being a polarizing figure, pretty much because of Princess Diana. But in all reality, he has done a lot to move the royal family forward, hasn't he?
Yes, he absolutely has. And I think in the last probably 10 years, he's come off looking a lot better. He has shrunk the size of the royal family, partly inadvertently, as Harry and Meghan took off to the U.S. He's also very conscious of environmental impacts. And people are now paying attention to that. When he started being interested in the environment and horticulture decades ago, people laughed at him for talking to plants. But now he's really right in the forefront of things people care about.
And out and about today, we've been watching video as you made these last statements of King Charles out today. Talking to people. We saw his saber, and we are showing the church as well. So this is, of course, one of those monumental occasions in British history. I'm just wondering, is it fair to say that Harry and Meghan will loom over the festivities tomorrow?
I don't think they will. I think they might for us as Americans, because Meghan is American and they're living here. But I don't think they will for most people in Britain. People who are excited about the coronation probably don't like Harry and Meghan very much right now, so they won't care that they're not there.
Will you be watching?
I will. Maybe not at the start, because it starts at 6 a.m. and it's Saturday. But yes, I will be watching at least parts of it. It's fun to see that kind of ceremony, especially for those of us who don't have any practical investment in it. And I'm going to England for a conference in a couple of weeks, so I will be looking for some things I can pick up for sale, some coronation mementos.
Of course, that would be very nice. So tomorrow, what can we expect?
So the procession and the ceremony start at 6 a.m. We'll expect a lot of pageantry. Of course, the golden coaches, the ermine robes, crowds of people. It will be smaller and shorter, though. His mother invited about 8,000 guests. He's inviting about 2,200. It will be a much more open ceremony in terms of having people associated with his charities there. Sort of more downscale. The members of the House of Lords have been told not to wear their ermine robes, but to wear either morning dress or suits, and for the women, sort of business attire. But there will be all the usual pageantry too, just in a shorter ceremony, and for the first time ever with leaders of other religious traditions. Sikhs, Muslims, Buddhists will also be there to present Charles with some tokens and to speak with him before he leaves Westminster Abbey. So it should be an interesting mix of the traditional and the modern.
Well, Dr. Carol Herringer, we appreciate you coming over to WSAV from Georgia Southern today and sharing your expertise on the Royals. And we look forward to talking to you again, and we'll be watching closely tomorrow as well. And speaking of watching, you can see that coverage live right here on WSAV beginning at 5 o'clock, very early tomorrow morning.